Hello, can anybody hear me correctly? Hey Alex, I see you in the chat. All right. See if anyone else makes it through. I think my sound should be okay. So, I'm not going to be on too long today just because my voice is not the best, but I wanted to just get into the topic as I had to reschedule from my original date. But I kind of just wanted to touch on, just what I've seen been going on all over the internet, all over YouTube, and various other platforms in regards to what people are branding a gender war between a gender war in the Black community. I don't believe it's a gender war. I think it's a situation of Black women responding in a very loud way, in a way that they haven't in a long time. I'll say haven't in a long time because there are records of us actually fighting on behalf of ourselves, not only on behalf of ourselves, but on behalf of others. And I think a lot of the mistakes made were, I think, under the guise of us maybe trying to feel like we could save the whole world. And I feel like there's a lot of Black women that still have that, mentality. And I understand that, but we just don't live in that type of world that we don't live in the type of world that would reward us in the way that we deserve if we were to do that. Like, we just don't. We live in a world that is very exploitative, and us being Black and women makes us doubly exploited. Just on those two factors, on those two factors alone. And then if you add in class, depending on where people's financial situation lies, it can become triple oppression. So it's a lot that Black women are dealing with, and I feel like it's not talked about enough. So I kind of just wanted to dispel this whole myth of, I'm kind of hearing these talks about Black matriarchy, about the Black community as a matriarchy, and it's not. Reason being is because a matriarchy would consist of the women instituting, governing. We would have to actually have the systemic power to institute laws. We'd have to have systemic power to be able to create our own military force. We Everybody knows Black women do not have that type of power. So basically, I found this article that was written in 1970 by a man named Robert Staples. I believe him to be a Black man. I haven't really seen many pictures of him on the internet, so I might do that live today. Um, as far as like searching for his pictures, but yeah, basically in my synopsis is into my description, basically the myth of the Black matriarchy is the final result of cowardice amongst the Black community and Americans who agree with it as a whole. The fact that the concept of the Black matriarch has been disproven through many articles that people refuse to read tells me that there's an insidious agenda. And I wholly believe that. That's my description. Sorry about that. That's my description of how I see things. And yeah, basically, I'm here to show you proof that, this is something that's been dispelled numerous times throughout, I mean, for the past few decades. This article alone is from 1970, and it's part of a large collective called The Myth of the Black Matriarchy. Just give me one moment. I can share my screen. Okay, I just want to make sure everybody can see. Make sure everybody can see. Hold on, y'all. Give me one. I'm gonna mute my mic for a while. Just give me 1 second to set up right. Hey, Prism. Quick question. Are you able to see a slide that I'm sharing? Because I'm having a lot of trouble trying to share this thing. Hold on, let me put the link to StreamYard in the chat. Nothing? Okay. Let me see what's wrong. Yeah, for some reason this is not like letting me share. Yeah, Prism, I'm not even sure what to do right now. I keep trying to share the screen and I have it on the layout for me to show the slide, but nothing is popping up. Oh, this is a pain in the ass. Yeah, at this point, I don't even know what to do. Like, I can't even show it. This is ridiculous. I mean, I guess I don't want to waste the live. I guess I can read some of it because I do have a link for the actual article within the description box for anyone that needs wants to pull it up. Prism, if you wanted to pull it up from your side, because I have no clue what to do at this point, and it's not showing me anything. Yeah, I'm using the share screen, but it's not showing anything. So I don't know what else to do. Okay, so I'll just read it out loud then, because that was my plan on doing it anyway. But I just wanted everybody to be able to at least read along to it. But it's fine. So but I have the link in the description box so people can look at it. But basically, I'm just gonna go over the first page of it because I think it pretty much sums up everything that we've been talking against. I think a lot it definitely yeah, it it's definitely going to basically confirm once again, just confirm everything we've been saying regarding everything, regarding Black men's responsibility in this. But I'm going to get started. So basically, this was released in January to February 1970. So literally at the start of the decade of the 70s. So in dealing with the question of the role of the Black woman in the Black struggle, one must ultimately encounter the assertion that the Black community is organized along matriarchal lines, that the domineering Black female has been placed in a superordinate position in the family by the historical vicissitudes of slavery, and that her ascendancy to power has resulted in the psychological castration of the Black male and produced a host of other negative results that include low educational achievement, personality disorders, juvenile delinquency, etc. One of the solutions to the Negro question we hear is that Black males divest themselves of this female control, quote unquote, of Black society and reorganize it along patriarchal lines, which will eventually of solve the problem created by Black female dominance. And in the next paragraph, so that first paragraph pretty much sums up everything that the guys are saying against us, basically that Black men are arguing. Now the follow-up paragraph is basically going to dismantle all of that shit. The follow-up paragraph and then continuing throughout the page. So the next paragraph says, and one can easily understand how the typical Black female would react when told that the problem of Black liberation lies on her shoulders, that by renouncing her control of the Black male, there are other common problems such as inadequate education, chronic unemployment, and other pathologies will dissipate into a dim memory. And in the next quote is basically he said, the myth of a Black matriarchy is a cruel hoax. And that sentence alone just pretty much sums it up. You know, it's bullshit. It's basically what it is. I mean, cruel hoax is basically, you know, it's just a way of subsiding responsibility and not really wanting to deal with the system. So then it adds on and says, it is adding insult to injury to Black liberation, excuse me, for the Black female. Her objective reality is a society where she is both female and Black. Oh, sorry, where she for the Black female, her objective reality is a society where she is economically exploited because she is both female and Black. She must face the inevitable situation of a shortage of Black males because they have been taken out of circulation by America's neo-colonialist wars, railroaded into prisons, or killed off early by effects of ghetto living conditions. Now, keep in mind, This was written in 1970, so it does that last iteration of them talking about the shortage of black men somewhat applies back then, but it doesn't apply today. It doesn't. Um, and then the ending of that paragraph is, to label her a matriarch is a classical example of what Malcolm X called making the victim the criminal. That's basically what it is. Is black men are trying to make us their enemy because it's easier than to have to deal with said system or said white man. So it's easy to pretend like, oh, they don't have a problem with the system. Oh, there's no racism. Oh, there's nothing, it's a lot of them like to complain about lack of opportunities when it suits them, but then when it doesn't, when they're trying to attack us, then all of a sudden they're six-figure men. See, and this back and forth and this kind of bipolar thinking, it just lets you know that they are in a very, very, they're in a very, very cowardly position. And oh, also Prism, if you want to come up, I have the StreamYard link there. Oh, so the second paragraph, to explode this myth of a black female matriarchy, and I love his choosing of the word explode. To explode this myth of a black female matriarchy, one must understand the historical role of the black woman and the development of that role as it was influenced by the political and economical organization of American society. Now, see, that's too much work for the manosphere and a lot of these guys online that are still complaining about a so-called black matriarchy. And I would have to say that, I mean, I agree. It's the truth. They have to look at it from all sides. You can't have every excuse in the book for yourself in regards to slavery and Jim Crow and then think somehow that doesn't apply to black women. Are you an idiot? Anyway, let me keep going. So, like most myths, the one of a black matriarchy contains some elements of truth. Black women have not been passive objects who were satisfied with watching their menfolk make history. And I need you guys to understand the sarcasm in that. Basically, what they were saying is that we didn't take the white women role with black men. The passive, sitting back, just being a housewife and a baby maker all day while they do all the work. That wasn't happening at all. So, and he mentions in the next sentence, if they had been contented to accept the passive role ascribed to the female gender, then the travail of the past 4 centuries might have found the black race just as extinct as the dinosaur. So it also it also says it right there. Basically, had we decided to take that, what do they like to call it, submissive role? Had we decided to take that role, yeah, like he said, we would have been extinct. We wouldn't have survived at all if we had to just rely on the men solely while we were at home. Oh no, hell no. It would have never got this far. I don't think the black community's numbers would be at a death knell, I think, at this point, like irretrievable. So, in many ways, as upset as people are at, the black women of the older generation of, the boomers, the Generation X, it's like they literally were just doing what they could and what they had to deal with for the most part. Of course, there's anomalies. There's a few that didn't have to, a few that may have married out back then as well. But that wasn't the rule. It's like we have to remember that these are exceptions to the rule at the time. So, yeah, if they have been contented to accept the passive role ascribed to the female gender, then the travail of the past 4 centuries might have found the black race just as distinct as the dinosaur. It is a poor tribute to their historical deeds to characterize them as sapphires, an opprobrious term that belies their real contribution to the black struggle. And in the next paragraph, it says referring to Black women as matriarchs is not only in contradistinction to the empirical reality of their status, but also is replete with historical and semantic inaccuracies. I mean, that's pretty much the end of that first page. That's all I have access to now because it's a jstor.org. You either have to have a school account, a college, either college or high school account to get it and download it yourself, or you can purchase it through JSTOR. But yeah, no, that's the end of it. Prism, did you want to come up? Did you have anything you wanted to, any opinions you have about the article? Yeah, I just posted the link again. Hey, Prism, you still there? Hmm. Okay. Did you want to come up? Like, did you have anything you wanted to maybe say, or have any opinions about the article? I'm wondering if maybe there's a. Oh, got it. Let me check. Okay, that's fine. We could do that. I just saw your email, Prism. But did you want to come up now? Like, did you want to say anything? Oh, hi, Femi from the chat. How are you? Okay. I mean, that was kind of pretty much the end of it. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Prism. I'm very straight to the point. Like I'm kind of not. I'm not here to like really play games or be popular. Like I'm just like this is pretty much what I'm gonna do. Like for like the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna actually look for some more articles because I might make this a series just debunking this whole shit altogether. Like pretty much every video I make or every live, if I as I can, is gonna be just debunking all the bullshit. Oh, okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. Let me see. You said Femi does the same thing. Okay, cool. I have to check her out then. Yeah, I haven't been checking out any I haven't been able like to really find new pages, but I like always like being recommended, so I'm definitely gonna see what's going on. But yeah, I mean the article that we kind of got into, I have it in the description box, Femi. If you want to just take click the link and read it for yourself, because for some reason my share is like not cooperating with me right now. Okay. Not as much about femicide, but she does debunk talking points from Manosphere and Passport Bros who are messy. Oh, perfect. That's good. That's dope. Okay, not a problem. But yeah, just I'll give an overall synopsis of it because we did I did go through a reading with it with Prism. So, but basically the synopsis of it is there's a man by the name of Robert Staples. I believe he's more than likely a black man because this is actually an article in a series of articles in a volume called The Black Scholar that was, I believe, was formulated in '69, but then they had later releases. So this one in particular was published, published January to February 1970. So literally like the start of the '70s, very start of the decade. And this man is basically saying like, hey, you know, we hear what the rhetoric is. We hear what these guys are saying that, oh, it's the black domineering female. That's the problem in the black community, that she doesn't want to listen to her man. She doesn't want to have him take charge. She wants to receive welfare over having a man in the home, blah, 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 blah. We hear it all the time from several different platforms. I mean, it's almost like it's as soon as these dudes can afford a microphone and a computer, the first thing they want to do is make hours and hours upon of podcasts about topics that have already been fucking debunked by other black men. And I highly doubt any guy in the manosphere is actually going to pull this up and with sense try to debunk any of this because it doesn't suit their damn narrative. Yep. Femi, they are a broken record on these podcasts. Yep. And I don't understand how people are still listening to that. It's like, how many times can you hear the same bullshit over and over? And on top of that, I don't a lot of these guys don't even provide articles, or when they do, it's suited to their bias. Like these guys don't do real research. They do research to confirm what they already feel. Because I can't you notice when it came to the subject of Black Matriarchy, has anybody popped this article? Has any of those manosphere guys popped this article? Or any of the manosphere women over there that are fucking trying to save them? No, they won't because it doesn't suit their delusion. As long as it trashes the black women's, yep, they will listen all day. Exactly. Exactly. And it just goes to show how pathetic a lot of people are. I'm sorry, especially black men. Sorry, you cannot proclaim yourself to be a leader of anything if you are constantly turning to the women to and holding them to trying to hold them to a higher standard than you are yourself. Because if that's the case, then you need to be listening to us. Okay? Or better yet, we just not to we need to not be dealing with you at all. That's my recommendation. But people are highly sensitive to that. you know. But yes, my recommendation is for black women to continue to invest in self. Continue to invest in like-minded black women around you, especially those that want to grow, those that want to pursue happiness in a healthy manner and not through another party. Happiness has to come from yourself first before you even get with anyone. So, all this talk about wanting relationships, a lot of these people are unhappy with themselves and they're asking for relationships. It's like, no, you need to work on your damn self first. So, this guy just basically he debunked it. He debunked all that shit. He said that it's basically a cruel hoax. There's actually a quote in there, Femi, that says, "The myth of the Black matriarchy is a cruel hoax." Like, it's completely made up. It's basically a way to make the victims the criminal, basically making us the criminal because they're too bitch made to face other men. Yep, shaming women into relationships. Yep, Prism, exactly. And shaming successful women specifically, because don't let you be pretty, successful, youthful, and no kids. Oh, please, they are telling you every excuse in the book as to why you need to be in the community, as to why you need to only choose them, and why you need to. It's like, no. Yep, I'm checking out the article. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get the whole thing though, because it's several pages. It's just unfortunately there's a paywall for JSTOR, but I'm gonna see if I can see if there's another avenue for me to get it, so I can send I could post a PDF and you guys can have it, have all the pages and be able to share it to anybody you can. But as far as that link, definitely send that out. Anybody you think it would help, because we need this information spread. I'm sick of the lies. I'm sick of the bullshit. I'm sick of people not doing research. So yeah, I'm here until YouTube kicks me out, and hopefully that doesn't happen. So, but yeah, just so far, like, what do you ladies think? Femi or Prism? If you guys still wanted to come up, I know Prism. You said you wanted to do something. You didn't want to come up right this second. But Femi, if you change your mind, you can definitely come up. And again, y'all, I'm sorry. My voice is like very, very hoarse. So excuse me for the way I sound today. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. I was hoping we could have some little bit of chatter, but that's okay. I mean, I can end the I was gonna end the live. I was gonna be on here too long anyway, just because of my voice. But if you guys want to talk, I'll give it like another another minute or so. And then, oh yeah, also, I completely forgot to say, if you could press a like on the video if you enjoyed so far what you've heard. I'm not really looking to becoming hugely popular because my rhetoric is not popular anyway. So I just want to reach the right people. And for me, my main target is reaching Black women. That's pretty much, well, my only target. Sorry, like that's pretty much my only target. Scientific racism tends to blame Black women for Black men's life outcomes, like other myths about Black sexuality. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because the whole blaming Black women for the community's condition also applies to how, basically during our enslavement. This is a loaded statement. Mm-hmm. Very. And, a lot of that, especially, was used, just during, on the plantation, as far as, having, just unfettered sexual access to us. But at the same time, any child back then that was born to a Black woman was automatically enslaved. It didn't matter. So, we were basically cursed from the beginning. Like, we were basically labeled, like we kind of just had a scarlet letter to our entire being. And yes, a lot of it is based on jealousy. Like, it just took me a long time to realize it was like, especially once I heard Mama Zogbay's seminar on YouTube. I'm gonna try to find that again because I think it's like a 7-part. I think it's a 7-part series. Oh, damn it, I wish I had my share feature was working. Yeah, and the thing is that the crazy thing, Prism, is that they know it's racism because in no other community are the women blamed for all the mayhem the men are causing. Because if we were to look at other communities and see, just and not focusing on the positive, but just strictly focusing on the negative, they have their problems too. Like the Latinos have their cartels, the Asians have their yakuza, white folks have white extremist groups, white militias. A lot of them, I don't really see their women getting blamed for the behaviors of those men. Okay, Femi from the chat. Most of these men's mindsets are fixed. The best thing is for us women is to move as a unit. I don't foresee any time in the future for our men to lead a partner with us as a people to move forward. I agree. My message is not to fix anything because just as women, and this is not me being like sexist or anything like that. This is just how I feel like as women, it's not our job to fix the community. And the thing is, if it worked that way, it would have been successful. It wouldn't be as messed up as it is now because it's essentially been black women that have been trying to fix everything. Let me see. Prism. How much of this mindset do you believe is outside this space? Honestly, oh, that's hard to tell. I think I think people use the content creators as a measure and don't factor in the subscribers and the watchers. And I think it is a lot larger than people believe it is. I think people don't want to believe the mindset is on large scale, but I think so. I believe so because we see a lot of these. I mean, we see black women get attacked in real life. Like we're not just getting. It's not like we're just getting attacked online and then out in the world we're just fine or we're being protected all over the place. Like that's not happening. We're being attacked online and we're being attacked outside, which is why we have a high femicide rate. So I believe this mindset is severely widespread. I think it's, if I was to put a percentage on it, I'd confidently say 70% confidently. And that's just confidently. I mean, for me, I'll put an extra margin and bring it up to 80. But I don't know. What are you guys' opinions? What do you think? Let me say hello. I've never met any of these types of men in real life. I could look at the views on the channel. Yeah. Yeah. Like for me, I can agree too because and this is not to make myself seem different or anything like that, but I was actually, funny thing is I was actually primarily raised by my dad, black man, who is a black man, and both my parents are, my mom and my dad. But just because my mom unfortunately wasn't mentally up to par. Like she's diagnosed clinically. My mom is she's bipolar, so she wasn't able to really be there for me. As she was able to be there for me the best way she could, but not really in the way that I needed. So a lot of the raising was on my dad's side, but my dad had a lot of help. My grandma, my aunts, cousins. I had a very good family. Like I feel very fortunate to have been raised in a situation that I've been in, which is why I like to spread, you know, this type of energy to other black women anytime I can, because, how certain men in our families treat us is not always how they treat other women, and I think that's something that is very much missing. Is very much missing from our community that we don't talk about. But mm, I don't know. A lot of people seem to can't seem to fathom their like brother, cousin, father treating a woman like that because of how they treat them. And it's like we have to remember that how somebody treats their family member is not how they're going to treat a woman that they're trying to, have sex with or scheme on or try to harm. Like it's never going to be the same. Like there are guys that are legit afraid of their fucking moms, but will be out here disrespecting random women in the street. I've seen it. And even I've had to tell some of my own family members off that, I no longer speak to. It's like, look, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care that you're my cousin, whatever. If I see you treating women a certain way, you will not be in my life. I'm not gonna fuck with you. And I'm not gonna respect you as a man either. And in fact, I might even talk down to you. Like that's just the type of woman I am. And I just don't play that. So, you know, I just think more of us need to be that way. I think more of us need to put our foot down, even in family. You can't be afraid to say something because you're afraid they're going to treat you a certain way. Because then that tells me that it's fake, and a lot of men will use that. They'll say, oh, I love my mom. I love my sister. I love such and such. But they treat women like crap in everyday life. I hear it all the time, especially from these idiots on these podcasts that try to justify the shit that they do. Let me see. It's impacting a lot of people in real time, men and women. Yep. Mm. That's good that you tell them that. I check men too when I see them disrespecting a woman, especially the younger men. I tell them all the time that's not how you treat a talk. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yep. Uh, yeah, I just think there needs to be. I really think that it just needs to be more of it. The more of us that do it, the more these men will know. It's like, yo, it's like, oh shit, my mama's gonna check me. Hey, oh shit, my sister's gonna check me. Oh shit, every all black women are gonna check me if I look crazy out here. So, it hasn't. There's not enough checking. Let me see. We have women who co-sign. Yeah, and that's part of the problem too. Because I mean, that's the thing in all community and this is something that is not talked about enough too. There's jealousy with women in all communities, unfortunately, because of the combination of internalized misogynoir. It's like an extra fire blaze in our community. Unfortunately, there are a lot of black women who have internalized misogynoir, and you see it. It's embarrassing. It hurts to watch. And half the time, I'm telling these girls, "What the fuck are you doing? Get offline and take a nap or something," because it just doesn't make any sense. You look stupid trying to make excuses or pander to a group of men that are disrespecting your very image. Let me see. Okay, so what do we do about those types of women? I can't stand those women. I don't even know how to get like that. The thing is, there's nothing to do. They're gonna stand. They're going to stand with those dudes no matter what. The best thing we could do is stay away from them. Honestly, like I'm not here to change anybody that actively wants to be over there and is actively wants to remain stupid or wants to remain ignorant to the facts. I have no interest in changing that, any of those women or those type of men. I'm here for the ones who want the information, who haven't had the access and want to see something better or want to make a better move, but maybe don't have the avenue or haven't been presented that lane. So that's what I'm here for. Yeah, I don't recommend any you do anything except stay away. That's it. Because there's really nothing we can do. Those women, unfortunately, are going to get themselves into a situation, just dealing with them dudes alone, because those dudes don't like them. They're using them. So them being over there, they're literally abusing their own selves. So there's nothing we have to do. They're already doing the harm to themselves. So for us to jump in on that wouldn't even make sense. That'd be a waste of our energy when we could put it to stuff like this and, devote it to, having like-minded women around and moving forward. Because I feel like if we constantly get obsessed with the women that are staying over there, we're going to be stuck talking about them. And I don't want to, because that's almost like me talking about the black men over there. That's like me talking about the black men over there. I can't do it. Like, I'm trying to get I'm trying to get rid of them and yeah. For me, I think just the best thing is just stay away. But again, that's just a recommendation. I can't really tell anyone which channels they can or can't go to. Prison. Let me see. Throwing marriage in someone's face like it's yeah. This whole marriage thing, honestly, like the thing is, I'm not against marriage, but at the same time, a lot of people overhype it in a world where we have high divorce rates. It's like, do people not read statistics? If marriage was really the end all be all for life and for everything successful in life, then we wouldn't have such high divorce rates. We wouldn't have abuse in marriage. We wouldn't have the concept of married single mothers where the woman is doing damn near everything, also the breadwinner, while the man is just a body in the house. Like, we even had marriage during segregation where men would straight up deserted their families. Marriage did not stop those men from walking out of their homes and never coming back. What they say, I'm going to the store to get milk or some shit, one of those lines, and then just never come back. And then, I mean, no, marriage is not an end all be all, and it's not going to stop a man from doing dirt. It's not going to stop a man from leaving you. I mean, yeah, it might make it harder for him legally, but that's about it. And trying to keep someone around that doesn't want to be around is a headache and a half that you don't want. That's more stress in your life that I'm trying to keep away and dissipate from Black women's lives. We have enough stress as it is that has been forcefully put on us. So any relief that we can have of ourselves, we need to do it. And yeah, and also we have to consider the fact that not every Black woman wants to be married. Like, is that like, do people not realize those women exist too? There's a few that I know personally that they don't want to be married. They don't want to be tied down to somebody. We also have Black women who are bisexual. We don't consider them as well. Because they have an attraction to both, they can't really see themselves committing to one or the other. How do I know that? I have family members, and I also have friends who are also of the LGBT community, Black women, Black lesbians, Black bisexual women. And I had these conversations. See, you could only pick up this type of information if you actually talk to people. I talk to everybody in my community. I'm not talking to you. If you are growing up, that's what I did. I spoke to everybody. If you were Black, I spoke to you. And that's how the community should be, but unfortunately it's not like that, and it's not our job to fix that. So it's up to the men to institute that shit and actually stand on it. And they have to check and police each other to make sure that it happens. And that's what hasn't been happening. We're the only community where men do not check men. Every other community has a system where men check men for committing negative acts within it that have negative effects within their communities. They don't really care so much if you cause mayhem elsewhere. Like, other communities don't care if one of theirs caused mayhem in a Black area or shoots up one of your damn supermarkets. They're not caring as much. Let me see. Can you speak a little more about some of the myths of the matriarchy? Is there a portion in particular that you wanted me to read? Wish I would have read it beforehand. Is there any part in the article in particular, like a specific paragraph that maybe stands out to you or or anything? Oh, something that stood out to me. To be honest, the first page. Hold on me. Yep. Let me see. Nothing in particular, but something that stuck out to you that's prompted this live stream. Oh, honestly, the title. Truth be told, it was the title. Just because of all the talks that have been happening, I decided, and I kept hearing the topic of Black matriarchy and Black women domineering Black women. So I decided to just look up. I decided to just do some research. I just went to Google and I started typing in Black matriarchy. And at first, when I first started searching, like, it was basically, they would talk about Black women being in charge, Black women being basically the heads of their communities. And the problem is that that role was forced onto us. It was basically kind of I guess if I could use an analogy, it was almost like somebody dropped the ball and we were basically Black men dropped the ball and we were expected to pick it up. And that happens every time. Every time they drop the ball, we're expected to pick it up, and that has to stop, because it's gotten us nowhere. It's gotten us so far down to the point that we have less ownership, we have less home ownership, less Black businesses than we did during segregation. And to me, that's highly disturbing. But let me not get too far off topic. I'm going to answer your question. So what stood out to me, yeah, is basically the title, The Myth of the Black Matriarchy, and then also the fact that this was written in 1970. So it's like, it kind of pisses me off that people are having these same conversations in 2024. That almost gives an indication that Black folks as a whole are intentionally ignoring this. And why? It's like, and this is a Black man that wrote it. It's not like they can say, oh, this is some Black feminist plot. This was a Black man that wrote this. And he wrote it in 1970. And this was around that time. I don't know if you remember, 2 years before, in 1968, there was actually it's a video clip on YouTube called that's supposed to be conversations between the Black man and the Black woman, where basically the Black guy, he's dark skinned, has a beard, he has a blue shirt on, and he's basically talking to this girl and telling her that we need to reprogram the Black woman. I don't know if you've heard about that clip. Let's see if I can find it. I found it. It's a 1968 special report called "The Black Family: Black Men versus Black Women." Jesus Christ. Let me copy the link to this. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm about to. Oh, let me see. I feel you on that. This was in the 70s and it's 2024, and these men are still saying the same thing, but they have done nothing to change this. Exactly, or put themselves in a better position. Yep. That was my main, that's the main thing that's pissing me off about this. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? This has already been debunked. So either you are a propagandist at worst, or you're stupid at best. Like that's honestly the only option I can give these. That's the only option I can give these dudes at this point, and the women that want to go along with this. That's the only option I can give them. It's either or. Like there's no room in between. It's either or. It's either you're intentionally trying to put propaganda out here or you're just stupid. Mhm. Oh, also I put the YouTube channel in the chat. The link to the Black women versus Black men. Mind you, that video was done 2 years before this article was published. So that tells me that in the late 60s, this was a common argument. Mind you, wasn't Martin Luther King assassinated in 1968? In April 4th, right? I believe April 4th, 1968. If y'all can correct me if that's not correct. Femi or Prism? I just want to make sure I got that date correct. I believe it's April 4th, 1968. Y'all still there? Femi, Prism? I think you are correct. Femi, I think you are correct. Okay. Hey, Alexander. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, we had gotten into the article. You know what? Actually, it's a short article, so you know what? I'm gonna reread it. If that's all right with y'all? I'll reread it. It's a short article. Because Femi didn't get a chance to really for me to really hear it either. But I mean, she got a chance. I think she already. I'm not sure if you already read through it, Femi. So let me know because I can always read it out loud if you want. Because I read it for Prism already, but if you already read it, it's basically my interpretation is what I had said to you earlier. It's just this conversation needs to stop. And even in the 1968 special report, I wish I could share this video. Yeah, I've tried the screen share. For some reason, it's let me see. Oh wait. Yeah, I read it and started reading other articles on Google about it. Good. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, this will let me tell you something. This will take you down a rabbit hole. Yeah, no, the thing is I keep trying it. Like I keep pressing share screen and for some reason this is not um it's like not working. Oh, this is annoying. Lord, I'm so sorry, y'all. This is a huge pain in the ass. Like I keep trying to. I'm just starting to stream more. Yeah, every time I use the screen share my. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like like it won't share anything. Like I keep clicking on different tabs, windows. I even opened a new browser, nothing. Ay, ay, ay. This company makes way too much money to have this problem. But yeah. But yeah, so Alexander, I'll read it since you didn't get a chance to really hear any of this, and it's short. I'm a pretty quick reader, so I'll get through it. So basically, the myth of the Black Matriarchy, in dealing with the question of the role of the Black woman in the Black struggle, I'm kind of gonna blaze through it. I'm not gonna really like do it all exactly, but basically, the first paragraph, if you go to my description box on my channel, I have the link to the JSTOR article, so you can read it from your display. But the first paragraph basically sums up everything that the manosphere and just a lot of Black men on these podcasts and just all pretty much a lot of them on these podcasts have been have been using to basically blame Black women for the problems of the Black community, like basically blaming us for the reason why uh the boys why the boys can't read at a certain level, or why they're being mass incarcerated. It's like the exact it's almost like they pulled their argument from the 70s. It's like they're almost trying to keep the problem going on purpose. And I honestly feel like they are trying to keep the problem going on purpose because it's it's a way for them not to have to step up. And I think I want to say W.E.B. Du Bois was the one that said this. Be careful of the race baiter or something. Not W.E.B. I think it's Booker T. Washington. Race hustlers. That's what it's called. They do pull these arguments from the 60s. Yeah, it's the truth. It is. It's literally just a repeat. It's literally wash, rinse, and repeat. And yeah, it's Booker T. Washington. Yeah, he came up with the race hustler accusation. And what he said was there is a class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles, the wrongs, and the hardships of the Negro race before the public. Having learned that they are able to make a living out of their troubles, they have grown into the settled habit of advertising their wrongs, partly because they want sympathy and partly because it pays. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they do not want to lose their jobs. And I mean, that is the best way to put it. I had to tell BGS he was pulling articles and stats that were 64 years old. Yeah, and that should let you know how disingenuous the argument is. Like, are you kidding me? Stats from 64 years ago, no statistician in this day and age would even listen or consider that. And that's the thing. I say tell him to pull this article up and have a conversation about it. It's a way to control the image and agency of Black women, so we will submit to them as if population/nation building will change the direction of Black people. Yep, exactly. It's all about keeping us under the thumb. Yep. No, Prism, you're exactly right. It's pretty much about keeping us at the bottom and keeping the status quo going. Let me see. Shame, blame, and explain. Oh wow, that's a new one. I haven't heard that before. That's dope. Shame, blame, and explain. Yeah, I mean that those 3 words kind of sum it up. They sum that up. They use that tactic all the time. It's not new. Oh yeah. Mm. I never heard it said like that though. That's the thing. I never heard those like the way you said it. Shame, blame, explain. Because I just always called it degeneracy. I just always called it, lying and degeneracy. That's how I. Oh, that's how I usually. That's how I view it, just from my organic view. That's what the. Oh, that's what the manosphere calls it. Oh, Lord. Well, yeah, as long as they keep that shit over here, because I don't have time for it, and I don't have the patience to go back and forth or listen to dudes who are going to be wholly disingenuous the entire time. Mm-mm. So, but did you ladies well ladies and gentlemen to Alexander, did you guys have any questions that you wanted to ask or anything? Yes, my throat is like very hoarse and it's oh gosh. I'm gonna have to get off soon, but I'm gonna stay on a little longer if you need to hear. Let me see. You need to hear how this guy was gaslighting Femi. She asked a legitimate question and he couldn't answer. Oh, what did he start? What yelling, cursing her, calling her out her name? Because I see that to be the common response. Oh, well, I just wanted you to talk more about yourself and your channel, as this is the first time me meeting you. Oh, well, honestly, my channel is basically dedicated to kind of debunking everything that I'm debunking a lot of the rhetoric that I hear as far as the so-called gender war. Because to me, I don't feel like there's a gender war. I feel like this is largely Black women responding in a way that people aren't used to, and it's making them uncomfortable because they're used to just having us go along to get along just to keep the community going forward. And I think because there's a large portion, a large portion than normal, a larger portion than normal that they're used to speaking out and saying we're not doing this, uh, basically saying that we're not doing this. They're making it now. It's all of a suddenly a gender war. Now it's all of a suddenly black women and black men and women are fighting each other, and oh, they just and like they want to talk about it as if it's just a back and forth thing over nothing, and it's like no, black women are responding to the massive amounts of attacks that have happened. Like people don't realize how long these guys have been doing this. I would say probably over a decade at this point. That and this is just strictly on YouTube that they've been doing this. As far as in the digital realm, it's strictly on YouTube. Like these dudes always have to seem to need an outlet to want to talk shit about us, and it's like I can't respect a group of men that will do that. I just can't. Nor would I want to procreate with a group of men like that, or marry, or be near. I wouldn't even want to be friends with those type of people. Let me see. At prison, they never answer my questions. I get their panties in a bunch. Yeah, if it's a serious, thought provoking question that they have to actually provide facts for, no. They're gonna get upset. They're either gonna get silent, or you're gonna get the curse out treatment, or they'll just try to discredit you, or start asking about your personal life. I never heard it like that, but you are right. It's not a gender war. They want to hear our response to the things that they have put us through. Yep. They don't, oh, sorry. They don't want to hear our response to the things that they have. Yep. That's exactly it. It's like black women, uh, it's like black women be silent. It's like, hey, you're going to make the black man look bad if you're honest about what your experience is in the community. It's like, okay, well, don't do it and we won't have anything to say. Like it's that simple. It's as simple as not doing it. It's as simple as just being productive. And all that vitriol that they have is not genuinely for us. The vitriol that they have is being directed towards us. A lot of the energy that they receive out in the world is harsh, and because they're too scared, because they're scared of what might happen to them if they bring that same bullshit that they do to us to them. We already know. We've seen throughout history what would happen. So they're a little hesitant to want to bring that energy to them, but they'll take it, hold it, and then find the nearest black woman that they could take it out on. And let me see, Prism. Yes, so they call it hate speech. Yep. It's hate speech but it ain't hate speech with all the shit that they're doing towards us, though. It's not hate speech when they single us out falsely, though. If anything, we have more of a case for hate speech than they do. That's just facts. Let me see. Oh, yes, you are right. Because when I was on that panel, he sure did ask me if I was a virgin. See, what the fuck? I was like, what does that have to do? Like, exactly. Like, you have to be a virgin in order for you to be right on the topic. Like, yeah, he was being an asshole. He was purposely trying to be disrespectful. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously, what the fuck does that have to do with the topic at hand? And that's just wholly inappropriate. If you're having a discussion about black liberation and so-called having a so-called wanting to have a union of black women and men, you think it's appropriate to ask a random black woman you don't know if she's a virgin? He was comparing her to Filipinas. She should have asked, "Are you?" Oh, you mean the same Filipinas that are trying to sue for child support because of all those half black babies they got over there with no fathers? Mm, that would have been my question. That would have been my question. I'd have been like, okay, well, what about all them those fatherless children out there that them half black fatherless children out there? Because I guarantee you they ain't black women's children. So what's going on over there? I mean, if they're so-called more feminine, there shouldn't be a whole baby mama epidemic over there where they're trying to look to sue the United States for child support. I don't know if y'all know if that's actually an article. I will see if I can find it and post it. Hold on. Exactly, Prism. Oh, oh, I have it. God damn. Even the Hague has even they even sent this to the Hague, the international court. Oh my gosh, in the Netherlands. Hold on, let me post it now. Let me see if she maybe. Yeah, they're doing a Hague Convention on international recovery of child support. So they want to do an international recovery. Hold on. Let me post this link. Let me see. Yep, right. It was very inappropriate. Yep. To them, free sexual access to liberation. Yep. That's exact because I hear them say that a lot. Let's count all the brown babies. Yeah, that's what they want to do. Hold on. Let me post it here. I just put it in the chat, y'all. Let's count all the brown babies from all the nations. Oh, woo! Let me tell you something. Let there be a day where there's international, where there's global mandatory DNA testing. Oh my God. Watch all this getting married and my husband's the best thing on the planet. Watch all that shit blow up. The whole planet might die. Let me say, oh, I'd love to see. Yeah, Femi, I have the article in the chat. Were you able to get it? Were you able to click into it? Prism, you as well? Are you able to see it? I bet there'll be no more discussion about the 30% lie. Exactly. You're welcome. Yeah, and then also, that's just one lead. There's several other rabbit holes regarding the child support thing too. They also have this thing called forum.legal junkies. There's literally a dude on here saying there's literally a dude that went to the Philippines in 2014, I guess. So like it's dated and everything, and basically he's trying to find a way to avoid paying child support. He's asking, is there a way that the Philippines can file a junction against him to the U.S.? But this was in 2014, so things have changed because this Hague Convention article is in 2022. So I think what it is because there have been so many men that have been going over there and getting these women pregnant and then just leaving the country. Oh, I found it. Oh my gosh. So apparently, Filipinos tried to sue the U.S. in 1993 over child support. Hold on, I'm gonna post this link. I just found it. It's a New York Times article, but I don't. Damn it, you have to have an account. You have to have an account to even see it. Shit. Yeah. The article is literally the name of the name of the article is called "Abandoned Filipinos Sue U.S. Over Child Support," and this was in 1993. I didn't even know about this till just now. Just me searching and going through Google. So it seems to me that the U.S. is already aware that there's an epidemic of United States citizens going over there and impregnating the women and then just bouncing and leaving them to take care of the kids. Let me see. Look up brown babies. Let me see. Brown babies. Thanks for that information. Funny how they never talk about this. And yeah, they're not. Yep. Prism. Yep. They never will. They won't. Nope. Oh, wow. The brown babies who are left behind. The first thing that popped up was a BBC article in the UK, the British Broadcasting. That's crazy. The children born to black GIs and white British women. Okay. And it says the term was given to these children by the African American press. Oh, so it was black folks that called them that. Okay. Wow. Um, there were 2 of 14 children in the village and about 2,000 across the UK born to white British mothers and black American soldiers during World War II. Ah. Mm. So that's the thing, and I don't see those women being brand. I don't see, and that's the thing. And in all of this, I don't see any of the women being branded the way black women have been. We haven't seen the ones born. Korea has the same issue. Yeah, I heard about the 4B movement. I think that's Korea. Yeah. We haven't seen the ones born from Iraq, Afghanistan, or other countries. Shit. I just looked up those brown babies. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Well, I'm gonna have to schedule another live for that one because I don't have much facts about that, but I'm not surprised. Wow. And the crazy thing is, some of these men were. I mean, some of these chicks were. Damn. Some of these women were already married. Like they literally stepped out on their husbands and got pregnant by soldiers. And I don't feel bad for neither. I don't feel bad for not none of them. They're not victims. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to kind of read further into that. They're not victims. I'm reading some of these stories. It sounds like they cheated on their husbands and fucked with these dudes. So I'm not looking at those chicks as victims. You fucked around on your marriage and then you ended up having a half black baby and then you're mad because what? You're by yourself and you know how to take care of that child, but you fucked up your own life. This life has been very informative. Also, they were three. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm literally reading an article right now where one of the girls, her name is Babs Gibson Ward. She was born in 1944. And it says her mother's Navy officer husband did not question whether he was her father. He honestly believed I was his child. I think because my complexion at that time was very fair. It took 6 months for it to change. So she was already her mom, and this is the daughter of one of the white moms. So basically, she tried to tell her husband that that was his child because like, at that time that Babs Gibson Ward was born, she's still like a fair white girl. But in 6 months, she started to get brown, and he was like, "Oh shit, no, this isn't my child." I'm sorry, I'm not looking at that. I'll look into the rest of them, but that particular situation, if I find it to be a situation where it's mostly that, I'm not feeling bad for any of those women. I'm not, because what that sounds to me is that you fucked up your entire life because you wanted to get dick down because you wanted some dick. And I hate to be so vulgar with it, but I'm not comparing that to what I'm seeing on this side. Like I'm not comparing the two. I'm sorry. It sounds to me like they got pregnant from having a fling with soldiers during World War II. That doesn't sound. That's not the same as you getting with a man and trying to start a family and doing like that's not the same. Yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah. I'll look more into it, but yeah, if I find that to be the case, I'm just not. I'm just not going to. I probably won't be very interested in talking about that because yeah. But yeah. As far as the Philippines though, yeah, that new bill and that New York Times article being from 1993 is crazy. Those women want to come here. But what for though if they were already married? Like that's the thing. From what I'm reading in this article, these women were already married to Navy officer husbands and they decide Navy officer husbands of their own. Yeah, but I mean, I can't. Let me see because they wanted a better life for their children. She want to come here. So I just want to marry a small part. Money. Yeah, but my thing is, I don't see black women given that same leeway when they do the same thing for the same reasons. Like, and outside of, let me see, read different articles to gain the picture. All right, I'll take a look at it at a later time, but just based on what I read so far, I'll probably come back to that later. But like I said, my main concern is black women. This live is very informative. Thank you, Alice. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's what I try to be. I'm very much just straight to the point. Like I'm not really here to embellish or do extra shit. I find the article, I post it. I give my interpretation, and anybody else has theirs. I respect it. But yeah, I just don't feel like black women would be given the same leeway if they just wanted to have kids for money, or if they just wanted to have kids to get a better life or for love or for any reason. I don't think they would get it. It was a great line. Thanks, Prism. Thank you. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, like they'll get all those articles and sympathy and whatnot, and it's like, no, because a black woman, I believe, I want to. It was somewhere up in the Midwest. I can't really recall the state, but I believe that she got arrested because she tried to send her son or daughter to a different school district, and I guess she used one of her family members' address that was in another district that wasn't hers, and so they basically locked her up for it. So you mean to tell me that can happen to black women, single mothers, who actual single mothers, for wanting better life for their kids, but for everybody else, they get all the excuse. That's why it's like, no, I'm all right. They're shaming women for leaving the U.S. Oh, I didn't know there were. I didn't know there were droves of women leaving the U.S. I guess maybe I haven't really been paying attention. Yeah, to be honest, this live would have been much greater if my screen share was working. I'm gonna figure that out before the next one. Before I set up the next one, I'm gonna tinker around with StreamYard just a bit and see what the problem is. Because I was able to present before, but it's like as soon as I got on today, it's like it's just nothing. But oh, I've been on here for an hour and 33 minutes on here. But yeah, if you guys like what you heard so far, press the like button if you haven't already. Even anybody that hasn't chatted, if you're just in the clouds watching, I definitely would appreciate a like. Also share, you can leave a comment as well. If there's anything you'd like to like any topics you'd like to see further. Oh, hold on. Oh, Alex, can you hear
Hey,
me? Muted. Hey,
yeah,
Alex,
hey,
how are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Oh, let me see. Let me read Femi's chat. There are there are lots. Oh, lots of. Okay, there are lots of black women expats, and they are not leaving to look for men. They're leaving for peace and a bit. Oh, the expats. Okay, see, I completely Oh gosh, I completely forgot about them because I forgot. That's right. I know there's actually one on here that I really like. I think her name is Melissa. I forgot her last name, but I know she's a really popular black woman expat on here, and I think I've seen a few of her videos. I think is it Melissa Perry? I think it's Melissa Perry, if I'm not correct. Facts, Femi. They're spending lots of time to shame those women. Yep. Yeah, but Femi, I don't know if you or Prism if you've heard of her, but I think it's Melissa Perry. She has a I think and she has a YouTube channel where her entire business is about being a black woman expat, I believe. And then she also hooks up. She also has lives with other expats as well. They are shaming. Yeah. Oh, Stephanie Perry. Okay, so I had Perry right. I don't know where I got Melissa from. Okay, Stephanie Perry. So I had the Perry right. But yeah, Femi, they and I'm
Oh man, she. I. Mm, Aisha, are you there? Hey, Femi. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until Aisha, finish talking, and then I'm gonna go ahead. I think her computer went out too. I'm gonna wait until she comes back. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go. I um Aisha, thanks for letting me on, uh, and I'll I'll see, and hopefully and uh, um and I'll see you next time.
Hey, oh geez, sorry about that, y'all. My actually my damn Wi-Fi had went out, so it like went out and came back, and then just came back on. So but I'm gonna end the live anyway. Thanks so much for joining. Yeah, my voice like really hurts, so I'm ending this. But thanks for joining. I'm gonna see if I can schedule one soon. I'm not sure when, but probably within like the next few weeks because I'm not gonna be in town for a while. Um, but yeah, I'll basically just it'll basically just be topics like this, just kind of pointing, just taking out a lot of the bullshit with facts. So, but thanks so much for joining, and y'all have a good one. Thanks.